Welcome back sa ikalawang episode ng Politics, Chikahang Politikal.
Brought to you by the UP Political Society. I'm Danelle.
At ako naman si Caloy. Kami ang mga chismosang kapitbahay nyo para sa chikahan natin today.
So, Caloy, kamusta ka naman? Anong ganap mo sa 1 year nating lockdown na quote-unquote bakasyon daw?
Nako, alam mo Ate Danelle, enjoy sa bahay namin, parang disco. Patay sindi yung ilaw, tamang party lang. Thank you Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. Kasi bukas para magbubukas.
Ay, kung ikaw naman party, ako nagsaswimming kasama ng BFFs kong si Rolly tsaka si Ulysses. Ganun talaga pag tinutulugan ka ng iba dyan.
Damn, Ate Danelle. Ayan na ba ang trending ngayon? Di na kasi ako updated. Sabi kasi ng mga kapamilya, mag-media break daw muna ako.
Ay, kaya di mo na like yung post ko. Sayang, ganda pa naman ng shots ko nung manyanita ni Papa.
Ay, belated happy birthday kay Tito. I wish you feel healthy, happy, and wealthy. Yung tipong aabot ng 15 billion. Ano kayang feeling maging 55, no?
Same old lang. Tamang pag-binge lang ng Triple T. Tulfo, TikTok, at Twitter. Bakaw sa net, kaya di ko na ma-stream ang favorite kong comedy and satire shows.
Ano yung satire? Saturday? Sunday? Monday? Araw ng linggo? Araw ng Pasko? New Year? Working holiday?
Funny ka. Sige, push mo lang yan. Pero sige, to answer your question, ayon kasi sa Oxford, ang satire ay ang paggamit ng humor, irony, exaggeration, at ridicule bilang paraan ng pamumuna sa social issues.
Ah, yan ba yung impersonation ng mga political figures? Yung mga shows na akala mo pampatawa lang pero low-key may pinaglalaban pala when you think about it.
Tama. Sabi nga ni Sasa Girl, it's making the smart stupid and the stupid smart, o diba? Mixing truth and humor to get your message across.
Taray, Sasa Girl, sure ba yan? Baka niloloko mo lang kami eh. Buti na lang katsikahan natin today ang isang professional writer and performer for television, film, musical theater, and stand-up comedy.
Tama. Today's guest graduated from the UP School of Economics in 1987. Madalas din siyang nagtatanghal sa Music Museum, Resorts World, and Teatrino stages in his solo stand-up show, Trompete, which lasted from 2018 to 2019.
He started performing in UP Repertory Company and later tried political satire. Mentored by comedy artists like Willie Nepomuceno and Tessie Tomas, he famously played the politician who was named after a dictionary and a college, Miss Miriam Defensive Santiago.
He was cast in the musical that trended during the pandemic, Ang Huling El Bimbo, and his other credits include Betwing Walang Ningning, Priscilla Queen of the Desert, Dog Eaters, Ako Si Josephine, and Rock of Ages.
It is truly an honor for us to have invited him in the podcast for the very first time. And since it's the first time and it's an honor, it's a first honor. A tremendous honor to welcome Mr. Jon Santos in our podcast for today.
So, welcome Sir John. We would like to extend our deepest appreciation, presentation, annunciation, resurrection, coronation, lahat na, in your words. So, hello, what is up? Welcome to the program.
Hello, political science students and political satire followers following this particular episode. It's a good morning from me and a good evening to you. Hello from Tampa, Florida, where I am on the road. Maraming salamat sa paanyaya. Glad to be here.
Thank you rin po, sir. It's an honor. It's really an honor. So, kamusta naman kayo, sir? How are you coping up since on the road kayo parate, ganyan?
So, to answer your question, it's a time of uncertainty. Nagiging comfortable na ako being uncomfortable kasi hindi natin alam kung hanggang kailan tayo magiging malaya magbiyahe or magtanghal ulit. It is already a year, di ba? And after 1 year, napaka-alarming ng balita. So, bahagi ng buhay natin yung maging medyo sad. We just try to cope. And to answer your question, there's a lot of yoga and a lot of meditation and a lot of seeking comfort of family and also giving comfort to family.
Well, we're glad to hear po that you're finding ways to make the most and to cope during these really difficult times.
Yes, sir. And ayun, totoo nga, yoga-yoga lang.
Oo, for now, ako yung consumer of comedy. Kasi ako yung nanonood ng comedy. Hindi muna ako masyado, well, slowly, hindi muna ako yung masyadong nagpapalabas ng comedy. For now, I am the consumer of shows that make me laugh to cope. And all the more ko na-appreciate din pala yung craft at yung produkto ng mga comedians.
Yes, sir. Totoo nga pong helpful yung comedy ngayon sa time na to. Pero yun po, sir, since nabanggit namin kanina na performer kayo and all that, so how did you start performing
Yes, actually, I'm so glad kasi si Danelle, akala ko nakalimutan na niya na performer ako kasi akala niya siguro doktor ako kasi surgeon siya ng surgeon. I am not a surgeon. I'm not from the medical field. Although naniniwala ako na marami sa medical field ang naniniwala na yung ginagawa namin is parang gamot na rin. Di ba nga sabi nila best medicine?
Very true,
or
sir.
laughter is a
Very
best
true.
medicine. Kasi nga parang lumalabas lahat ng problema nyo, napupurga lahat ng iyong mga sama ng loob at saka stress. So laughter is the best medicine. In short, LB.
Hay, nako, gusto ko na tuloy mag-LBM. Charot. Ayan.
Sana naman hindi, Loy.
No, ayoko po ma-dehydrate. Pero yun, sir, how did you start performing political satire?
Ang shortest answer, osmosis. Kasi the UP Repertory Company, at the time na nandun ako, which was 1982 to 1987, tumawid sa turbulent times ng EDSA 1. So, EDSA 1 was happening when I was the tail end of my schoolwork. So from 82 to 87, I was a student seeing the change in two eras, di ba? And the place of the UP Repertory Company at the time, leading to 1986-1987's People Power Revolution, were all protest plays. Lahat ng title ng play namin may bayan, pagsambang bayan, sigaw ng bayan, scholar ng bayan, which was also an original musical. And our mentor was Ben Cervantes, who was also known for very strong opinions, taking a stand. At the time na advisor namin si Ben, he was brought to jail a couple of times. Oh. And we have had sinundo namin a couple of times mula sa pagkakakulong. So the UP Repertory Company's plays exposed me to plays that have mirrored society's ills. Ang kanila noong slogan is RPN, refleksyon ng pangangailangan ng nakararami. So nahawa-hawa. My original wish was to be just in an ordinary play or any kind of play, drama, comedy, or fictional characters, maybe even to try to learn Shakespeare as a escape from the schoolwork of the numbers of the economic subjects. Pero hindi napunta talaga doon. And you ride where you try to grow where you are sown. You try to bloom where you are planted. So, and I have made friends there. So, it stuck. And then after college, I had the chance to audition for a couple of very, very politically themed pieces. Balimbing of Willie Nepomuceno, which is about the President Ferdy, and Meldita of Tessie Tomas, which is about First Lady Imelda. So Ferdinand and Imelda were my two discoverers. So talagang hawa-hawa, and of course when you work with mentors, they cannot help but give you advice on what to pursue next. So sabi niya, you create your own characters. You give, political stand-up, particularly stand-up based on current events, 1 year lang, parang ganyan. So yung 1 year naging 30, hindi na natanggal. Oo, Trumperte was actually a 30th anniversary show. So it was a 30-year diversion from my first love, which was musical theater. And yun sana ang gusto ko lang gawin. But I am more grateful than anything. Super grateful. And I've stayed friends with them. And mula no, nanatili na rin akong committed na lagi akong mag-try my best to contribute to political satire in the Pinoy live entertainment scene.
I see, sir. So, ayun, as you said, sir, parang you learned all of these things through osmosis, and you really got to gain a lot of experiences through the UP Repertory Company. So, May I ask po, who would you say are some of your biggest influences, whether they be local or international?
We continue to be influenced by newer generations of comedians, of course, di ba? They inspire you. So bukod kay Ben Cervantes, Willie Nepomuceno at Tessie Tomas, I have always admired the work of Jokoy, Rex Navarrete,
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais. I like him. I like him. I like his work a lot. At saka isang podcaster, among other things, si Mark Stein. Kasi isa sa passion niya, nag-iiba ng lyrics ng kanta. Parang Weird Al Yankovic. Yan. Weird Al Yankovic.
I
Parang si Mark Stein naman, lately, gawa siya ng pandemic-related change lyrics. And I think, I have to admit, Tito Vic and Joey and Mang Dolphy from the early years of my journey. So lahat yan bahagi nung aking 30-year journey of finding my own voice and my own style.
Yes po, sir. Ayun. So, narinig naman po namin na ang dami na talagang pinagdrawhan ng influence or pinagkuhaan ng influence. And yun nga po, you have impersonated a diverse set of figures with all different kinds of beliefs and viewpoints. Your political satires po included like Miriam Defensive Santiago to Ronald McDonald Trump. Sir, do you think as a performer, do you think that there's a responsibility to be impartial or at least be balanced in your performances, sir?
Definitely. I think my work should not be a window to my soul. I don't think my scripts should be used to reflect my own personal views. Yun ay sa akin lamang. In my experience, it has been most effective when I stayed as the empty canvas at ang aking jokes ay equally divided to the left and to the right, to the yellow and to the red, to the Republican and to the Democrat. In other words, I like to think that I am an equal opportunity offender. Na pag nakakatawa. Minsan hindi comfortable kasi meron ako syempre personal views at meron akong personal na kandidato, meron akong personal na binoboto. Pero commitment ko is maging isang impartial na jokester. Na pag nakakatawa yung joke at talagang magpapangiti sa audience, if it is targeting somebody I admire or somebody I am voting for, ay nako, hindi pwede. Kailangan i-deliver. Diba? So,
yes, sir.
That has been part of the journey. But I was so glad you brought that up. Kasi napakalaking responsibility ang maging opinion maker. At ayoko yang mapunta sa amin. Yung pag-form ng opinion ng mga bagong botante, halimbawa, nasa magulang at nasa teacher. O nasa mga katulad nyo. Communicators who like to create conversations and discussions about these things. Huwag sa amin. It's too much responsibility. It's not even safe. It is although I heard saan ba yun? Ukraine, yung presidente nila comedian. 'Di ba? Sa Ukraine yata yun oo. So that is an exception. Hindi talaga nasa amin yung basihan, hindi talaga kami ang basihan ng inyong mga desisyon o ng inyong mga kandidatong iboboto. Thank you for asking that. I believe na pinaka-effective na paraan para magtagal ang isang political comedian in my experience is to not be transparent. Na hindi kita yung iyong sariling kulay, your true colors.
Pero sir, segue lang. Kasi ang dami ko napanood dati na ginagaya mo, ganon. So, sino po yung favorite nyong gayahin? And how do you gaya? Paano nyo po kinokopya yung Di ba naging konyo ako doon?
Pasample naman po dyan.
Si Ate V, the star for all seasons, has always been a favorite because of the wealth of stories she could tell. Marami nagsasabi, ba't puro babae? Well, sabi nila, the Pinay is the storyteller. Mas maraming nagkukwentong Pinay kaysa sa nagkukwentong Pinoy. Although yung mga Pinoy characters ko, they are often in speech form. So it's the politicians. Mga nasa likod ng podium, nagsasalita, presidents, senators, ex-presidents, ex-vice president, ex-actor, and ex of many, many people. Alam niyo naman po, marami na po tayong naging ex. At matagal na, wag lamang po sanang, yung isang, there's only one ex I do not like, and it is ex-convict. Ay, naku, huwag po natin sabihin yan. Hindi, I think the wealth of the stories that Ate V can share, talagang nag-sustain ng napakaraming seasons of doing shows, mapa-political season or awards season. She can share stories about motherhood, about stardom, about wifehood, about ex-wifehood, di ba? So, mapa-politika, mapa-lifestyle, mapa-public service, mapa-showbiz, mapa-international films. You can always have material to create an ATV monologue about. Susunod dyan, yung mga distinct yung characters. I loved playing Senator Miriam. I loved playing ex-President Sherap. I have enjoyed. Oo, yung dalawang yan leads me to the next answer. Ang isang criteria kasi para ma-impersonate ka is kasikatan at saka yung pagka-distinct ng iyong personality. So, ang dalawang criteria is popularity meter, gaano siya kasikat. Number 2, gaano kadami yung makukuha mong katangian na unique. So, point of reference. So, yun ang kukunin mo dun sa tao. So, if it's Imelda and it's the hair, and it's material about the shoes. So, if it's Arab and the accent and the wristband and the jokes about his own frailty with and his struggles with English, na sarili niya mismo ginagawa niya. He wrote a book about wrong English. Diba? I think a novelty joke book about wrong English. So, if it's Trump, you play with the hair and the red, white, and blue look, yung kanyang suit. If it was, kung si FVR, yun yung tenga at saka yung barong. So you take whatever qualities or features nung tao na, pum, in 2 seconds gets agad nung nanonood. Siya yun. So that is sa loob at sa labas. Sa internal qualities, which is the content of the script, sa labas, which is the costumes and the prosthetics. Fortunately, the 2 mentors gave me both skill sets. Tessie was so conscious about what she was having her characters say, and that's based on research at sa kanilang buhay. Kumbaga, yung consistency with your invented truth. Si Willie, napaka-OC, mag-devote ng time sa tamang makeup, tamang costume. Sometimes it was even very, very costly and expensive. It involves latex. It involves hiring experts. So, yun ang, parang that's how high the bar was raised at yun ang kinailangan nating tularan at sundan. And over the years, it has become more and more difficult kasi 55 na po tayo at mahirap na tayong pagmukhaing Darna. So, pag mahirap na magbikini if you are a 55-year-old tito, but you do what you can. You do, and also nga pala, may mga character akong kumakanta. So sometimes there's voice training. Sometimes also there's a lot of extra workouts with personal trainers to shrink to a certain size. Ay, darating si Madonna sa Pilipinas. Magsho-show siya, nakabra lang yan. Tsaka nakalabas ng mga Madonna arms. So, laman yun ng work with a personal trainer. My favorite is Ate V. And my favorite,
Ate V.
My favorite, kasi medyo pagka si Ate B, kailangan siguro natin ng panyo. So, depende, Vilmanian ka ba? Mr. Torcelino?
Hindi,
baka naman
sir.
Oranian ka.
Pero,
oo.
hindi naman po. Vilmanian yung lola ko.
Lola mo. Well, whether you are one of the solid Vilmanians or the liquid Vilmanians or the gaseous Vilmanians, please know that we are thinking of you. Lalo na ngayong mga times na nasa bahay lang kayo at nagpapahinga and staying safe. Siyempre, narito po lahat ng mga pelikula ko na lalabas na po sa Netflix. Yung mga box office hits ko po, may international sequels na in cooperation with Disney+. Yung Darna meets Wonder Woman. Meron po Jezebel meets The Little Mermaid. Burlesque Queen meets Mulan. Mulan silang kinalaman sa isa't isa. Nag-meet lang sila. At saka, Kampanerang Cuba meets the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Ayan, abangan nyo po yan. Panoorin nyo. Kung hindi nyo mapanood, at least watch them. Okay? Thank you so much.
Yes, ayun.
Wag na po. That's perfect.
I don't have the benefit of costume and makeup. I'm sorry.
So, sir, given all that you shared with us, and thank you very much for, giving us a taste of Ate V and your what would have been a wonderful show. I wish we could have seen it in a physical setting. And ayun, so given po your vast experiences with all these interpretations and exposure to the political satire industry, so we called it. So do you think po, in your opinion, political satire is something that should be prevalent in the Philippines as it is, for example, in other countries? Or not so much?
I was so happy that when I read the initial concept paper for this particular episode, it included material as far back as Nole Me Tangere, which had segments, which had chapters where Jose Rizal used political satire to make a point. I need to mention that because I think it's always been there and I think it will always stay, but not mainstream, not 100% of the time. Ako mismo, sensitive. May mga nag-comment na the Pinoy can be quite pikon. So, political satire, which can be very, very strong, di ba? It's always been, bagamat best medicine siya paminsan-minsan, it's also advisable to take it in doses. Diba? The political shows that I have been part of, abangan ng susunod na kabanata, was non-prime. It was after 9 o'clock. Spoop, which was mainly talaga spoofing political characters, and it wasn't on the big 3 channels. So, lagi niche player lang siya, ever since. And as a performer, niche player lang din ako. Hindi ako ever naka-occupy ng mainstream ng matagal na panahon. So, yung politically themed shows ko, bukod sa hindi siya nasa prime time na oras, hindi rin siya nasa prime na leading channels. So pili talaga. Siguro nga they were produced as a prestige show, investment show, just to make in the commitment to balance programming. I really think it's a reality na an advertiser or a network executive will have to think of what shows really are most appealing to advertisers. So the sinasabi nila, the safer shows. So ang mainstream shows na talaga, drama and competitions. Yan ang unang pupuntahan ng advertisers. And it's a reality that the people who run our networks will choose these shows to give to the advertisers to support. At kung limited yung resources nila, hindi talaga laging may matitira for the specialty shows. Direct Johnny Manahan really treated abangan ng susunod na kabanata, just like Joey Reyes did, as a special baby na inaalagaan ng network. Pero niche talaga siya. As a performer, I do know that I am not popular every day. That my work is enjoyed seasonally. Pag election season, umiinit ang politika, bumabalik ang stand-up comedy shows ni Jon. It started with the EDSA shows of Willie and Tessie. And then every 6 years or every 4 years, di ba, may Rock the Vote, merong WTF, wala talagang forever sa Malacanang noong 2016. Election yun ni President Digong. Yes. Digong versus Miriam versus Grace po. Before that, there was For Voto or For Worse. Election yun ni nung Corina and Mar got married. 2010. So pag nagkaka-local election, Trumperte, there was a local election nung panahon nung Trumperte. Seasonal kami, we come and go. May sawa at may fatigue kapag too much. I also know that Saturday Night Live, occasionally lang, nagtatampok ng politics. Pero it's always there. Alam niyo sa Going Bulilit, meron silang maliit na Corina, maliit na Mar, maliit na Noy.
Yes.
Yeah, so bahagi ng buhay natin ang makita ang politics enjoyed in the things we watch, but in smaller doses. It occupies a little part of our diet our entertainment diet. And culturally, sabi nga nila, saang baryo at saang kanto sa Pilipinas, walang baryo fiesta, walang singing contest, walang beauty contest, walang basketball. So yun at yun ang mananatiling pinakamalaking bahagi ng ating TV viewing habits.
Yes.
But then I don't think political satires will ever go away.
Yes. So yun nga sir, parang seasonal lang talaga siya. And yun totoo naman siya talaga na it's ingrained in our culture. Hindi lang talaga like yung parang parate ganon. So nakakatulong din siya mas lalo kung seasonal sa mga discussions and such, 'di ba? Pero yun sir, is there something that comedy can do that other means cannot? Like, I mean, since sobrang formal minsan ng elections, mahirap mag-engage in discussions, and ano po yung nagagawa ng comedy to relieve that perspective?
I think in the dark times, I think pag merong adversity, if you know how to laugh, you can be bulletproof. Ika nga ni Ricky Gervais. If you can laugh in the middle of a very adverse or challenging situation, you can be bulletproof. I love the word relief, na hindi lamang sa hindi lamang sa literal na sense ginagamit, kundi ginagamit din sa comedians na ang comedy ay naghahandog ng relief. Ang sabi nila na hindi nagagawa ng iba is that the truth teller in a comedy show is like a court jester, or like the townsman in like the character in The Emperor's New Clothes. Tinuro niya na yung emperor walang suot. Something everybody saw but did not say. So sila yung makapalang muka, sila yung tagasabi ng totoo, pero they get away with it because they are the court jesters. At hindi lang yun, they also make fun of themselves. At hindi lang yun, totoo kasi. At saka, may reaction. So, sa experience ko, sa panonood at pagsalang sa comedy shows, yun ay isang unique na katangian ng comedy shows. They really let you escape the very painful and very hard stuff. But it's also tricky. Alam natin na ayaw natin gawing escape ang tumawa lamang. Sabi nila, double-edged yan. Kung tayo tatawanan lang natin ng tatawanan ng ating mga problema, na sinabi nila, may mga Pinoy daw na ganun talaga, tatawanan na lang, hindi nagagalit, hindi nagmo-move on, hindi kumikilos, pinagpapasensya na lang kasi napaka-forgiving. Kasi ang dali niyang hanapin yung ibang bagay na magpapasaya sa kanya. So yung totoong dapat na mga bagay na dapat baguhin, hindi niya binabago sa buhay niya. It's a puzzle that we will continue to solve as our society evolves.
Yeah. Thank you for that, sir. I don't know, speaking as a fan of comedy and all the things that you've mentioned, it's really interesting then to see how, as you said, it is a double-edged sword, but at the same time, for so many people, it served as an escapism, or in your words, relief. And it has served that purpose to the point that even on the internet now, parang everyone is trying to do comedy or everyone is trying to do humor, diba? Like with social media, especially a platform like TikTok, for example, everyone is trying to express their political views through these online platforms. So, in what ways, sir, would you say that these newer forms of political satire are like similar or different to your own performances?
I have been slowly observing what comedians and ordinary citizens are doing on this platform, kasi I'm really, really, really used to just 200 to 300 people in a theater na naaaral ko pa nga ang demographic, napapasilip ko sa kurtina anong klaseng tao mga dumarating. You lose that homogeneity when it becomes bigger. If it's 1,600 of Resorts World, iba siya. If it's Araneta, iba rin siya. Ano pa kaya yung million sa internet? So, hindi na sila ganun ka-homogeneous. And even 10% of a 1 million Zoom internet concert, mapapaisip ka talaga how many you are offending, di ba? And how will you deal with that responsibly? But I see some of these memes and some of these jokes that come out, at ang dami ha, kasi ang witty-witty rin naman ng Pinoy, the sino bakla wordplay, the memes of our leaders in bathing suits, or the wordplay na trabaho lang walang personalan, binaligtad ginawang personalan lang walang trabaho, and baka it's their way of making ganti. 'Di ba nakakaganti tayo pag napapunchline natin sila, kasi tayong maliliit against establishment, isang armas natin is tatawanan na lang kita, titiisin ko yung mga ginagawa pero tatawanan kita, wala kang taka sa aking punchline. So siguro it's a coping mechanism, kaya ang dami at saka ang bilis, saka napaka-witty, napaka-creative. It's harder now to make jokes because the consumer is so funny pala. Marami pala sa kanila may hidden ganyan.
Yeah.
And I am only very slowly with this show that I am working on. I will only very slowly cross over to this platform kasi mas gusto ko pa rin talaga ang live. At saka dito sa platform na to na million in a divided country na yung the other half pag nag-comment na sa comment bar in a live streamed show, I have to know that I will have to handle that. Ang gustong-gusto ko yung comedy shows ko nakaka-unite, hindi nakaka-divide. Kung nauwi sa away, because of a very polarized audience. Although meron paraan. Sabi nila, nasa sa topics yan. You know, who doesn't have a comment about the mask or the shield? Para tayo lahat mga nagwe-welding. At may mga shield tayo lahat sa mukha. So, that is something that you will react to no matter what your political views are, diba? So, in other words, you start with safer concepts, like the mask, na at least nagkapantay-pantay tayo mga Pilipino, wala nang maganda, wala nang pangit, kasi natakpan ang mga mukha nating lahat. Everybody couldn't go out. Nobody could go out. Nobody could go to... So, may mga bagay naman na united tayo. Sa maraming bagay, united tayo. At kung mag-uumpisa ka doon at love ka na nila, halfway through the show, sige, you go into politics. A little later in the show, you can go into stronger stuff. I've always been guided by Direk Johnny Manahan also in choosing the approach to a joke. Sabi nila, merong maanghang, merong mapait. It's nice if your joke stays maanghang. Pointed siya, may opinion siya, may slant siya, may nangailangan ng konting guts. It's a little edgy. Pero laughter pa rin yung dulo. Pait is just like a hate speech. Diba? It's more, diba, the sarcasm and the sarcasm and the meanness outweighed the funniness. So, timpla siya. Joke per joke, celebrity per celebrity, personality by personality. Binubusisi how you will create this particular joke until you weave a nice gift to your audience. Na in the end, they're more united than divided. Na ang takeaway nila is, pwede ko palang tawanan kahit sandali, kahit 2 hours ang buhay para bukas, gigising ako at haharap ako muli sa malupit na buhay. I think it was an Italian saying, I laugh so I wouldn't have to cry.
That's, sir, very insightful. Ayan din, nabanggit niyo rin po kanina na you were like crossing over to different platforms. So, since ngayon, yun nga, nagka-crossover po kayo from like from physical to online.
Tsaka cross-dresser kasi ako.
Yeah.
Saka lagi ako mahilig ako mag-platforms. Okay.
Oh my God. Pero po, yun po sir, paano po kayo nag-adapt in working to the remote setting and such?
Very, very slowly. First, I was looking at what colleagues were doing. I came from a play shortly before nag-lockdown nung March a year ago. So, galing ako sa El Bimbo. So, lahat ng aking mga friends, theater people, when they went on into doing Kumu shows or their own YouTube uploads on their own respective YouTube channels or Facebook Live or IG Live, Mostly it's musical. They would sing to the fans. They would sing together and raise funds for frontliners. So mostly music yung kanilang content. Tiningnan ko yung challenges nila. So syempre, una-unang challenge, technical, bandwidth, sound and audio, costumes, background, the technology available to you, mahal ba gawin ito? Naku! Lahat sila ang Christmas gift sa isa't isa, ring light. Lahat ng tao may ring light. Hindi naman laging maganda kasi minsan may bilog ka dyan. May bilog ka dyan sa naka-ring light ka. Diba?
Pag nagsasalamin po kayo.
Oo. So, you need to be confident pag naglagay ka ng material out there. So, in my case, it was slower. So, technology, intellectual property issues, and appropriateness. Naku, with the internet kasi, alam ko din, at nasa larangan ito, nasa field ito ng studies ninyo, na nandiyan ang PC police, nandiyan ang political correctness police. That every pronoun, every thing that might touch on race, on gender, and on a specific grievance of society, every faction of society, it would need responsibility and thought and self-editing. If it is not to be enjoyed as a one-time only 2-hour live show in Teatrino. Pag uwi nila, tapos na yung show, I will probably continue to have, if I continue doing shows live, voice-over announcements about recording. Ang hirap-hirap ma-record. Yun ang challenge ko ngayon. Paano pag inire-record ka na? I think ang KTX can protect you from having your content recorded, but what's to stop someone from recording the gadget? Diba? So, wala pa talagang nakikitang solution about being replayed. Aside from, of course, the fact that in the old days, we have one ticket for one live performance, and from that ticket, you are entitled to experience me once. But I do know that so many people, I'm sure sila Jokoy have Netflix shows, diba? And may mga shows sila na pre-produce with that kind of business plan in mind. This will be consumed by this market at this time, and at this point hindi na siya mape-penetrate, hindi siya mabibili o ma-access ulit. Yung mga ganun, kailangan ng patuloy na pagre-research on my part. I really will though have as my very first love, the life I knew, which is to hold a little group hanggang 1/6 ng Resorts World in a hall na naaral mo kung sino yung naaaralan sales. Kung sino yung nariyan at kung ano yung best appropriate material for this nice group of people who came there to enjoy your gift. So yung communion between the artist and the audience in a smaller hall, hindi millions through the internet. Hindi pa ako talaga masyadong confident na yan ay magagawa ko easily. But I am continuing, and I will tell you later about this. Just one new show I might try to put together, but for May. But I hope that answers your question. It's not that we're being selfish. We're just being very, very careful. My God, si Kevin Hart natanggal sa Oscar Awards as host because years before may na-trace na sinabi siyang, I don't know kung racist ba, Joe, or gender-related. And in the past, who knows? Because my work started pre-social media. So I may have done characters that will be misunderstood today pag ni-replay from an illegal recording. I have put on blackface before for I played a woman who was not Caucasian, and I used makeup that made me very, very dark, and I used kinky hair. Kung yan lumabas ngayon, who knows how it will be appreciated. And we know that art done at that time was done at that time for a reason, and art written and made at that time, viewed from the lens of 2021, will be different. We know what happened to a certain song. Ano yun? Baby, It's Cold Outside. Or a movie, Gone with the Wind, because of the overtures. Sinasabi lang, touching on racial issues. Dr. Seuss! May mga libro si Dr. Seuss na kino-question for its content when it deals with race. some time ago, I was looking at Wikipedia, nakita ko, I don't know why. Maybe because of an actor who played Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys na nilabas noong 1930 at tumigil isulat kasi pala group of writers yung nagko-contribute. Na rotating sila, hindi isa si Caroline Keene at saka si Franklin W. Dixon. Oh my goodness. 2 decades, so 1950s, nire-rewrite siya slowly. Na yung original contributing writer of a particular episode of Nancy Drew, tinatanong yung publication, ba't nyo nire-rewrite ito? Well, pinapalitan certain words. Roadster became car. O convertible became... Not only that, merong racist overtures. May racist inputs na kinakailangan tanggalin. And nanggaling sa readers, parents of readers. Sinulatan ng publishing company, tanggalin nyo naman ito. Noong 1930, tama ito. Ngayon, hindi na masyado. So may ganun palang puzzle. Paano yung original work ng isang artist na pag pinanood ngayon, maling-mali na? It is something I haven't answered in my head. Paano yung aking work na ni-record noong 2021 sa isang show? Sa 2027, iba ang pananaw sa cross-dressing, sa gender, sa, na gumawa lang ng burrito ang isang restaurant na hindi Mexican. Kino-question, how can you do that? Or why will they sometimes have me justifying the choice of characters? Or the kinds of characters I did. In my shows, to put it simply though, ako lang naman yung artist. Wala akong guest na babae. Ako yung gagawa ng babaeng role, ako yung gagawa ng lalaking role. And that has been the setup. But how long that will be appropriate, or proper, or not wrong, we don't know, di ba? And feel free to stay in touch with me in the years to come. Dahil sa inyong field of study, bahagi niyan ang virtues, correctness, issues of, anong tawag doon? Social struggle, di ba? And it will be a continuing conversation. Hopefully, I'm still in the field of comedy, but I really love the field of study, of just listening to these conversations at obserbahan ang ating turbulent changing times. And in my own family, we are divided. In my own household, we are divided. I've been to theater companies na the backstage chatter ng political affiliations, divided. Half. Sarili kong household, nanay ko, tatay ko magkaiba. And I recently had my kuya, yung kanyang panganay na anak, ay nag-crossover din because of gender dysphoria. Napaka-interesting, turbulent times, na punong-puno ng change. It's such a puzzle for the communicator to want to do something online where it is so permanent. I like the safety of a 2-hour live experience which you leave. Finish na, pagsara ng kurtina, uuwi ka, nadala mo ang konteksto nung gabing iyon na nasa brain mo lang at nasa puso mo. Wala sa gadget mo.
So, ayun, as you said po, there are a lot of things right now that are changing about the content of political satire, about the way it's being performed and delivered. So, now that we've looked at the present and looked at the past, so looking forward naman po, where do you think you see political satire in the Philippines going in maybe the next few years? And do you think that it is set to be limited under, for example, a stricter government? Or do you think that it can flourish to meet any challenge that comes ahead?
I think it is here to stay. I think it is here to enjoy its little niche and to enjoy its popularity wane and ebb and flow depending on the seasons. 2022 is coming and it is an election year and it will be, political satire will be big. We have seen so many television hosts imply satire and even on teleradyo. My dearly beloved extended family member, Manong. Ang aking Manong, laman talaga ng lahat ng teleradyo. Nakakatawa talaga si Ted Filon. Sila. And you've seen the morning talk shows on the networks. They have puppets talking about politics. So they have their own devices na ang tinatakal political issues. Napakaraming broadcaster na nag-i-employ niyan. Anthony Taberna, si Katunying, all of these communicators on teleradyo, they are incidentally funny. So yun ang magandang crossover. Political commentator sila na nag-employ ng comedy. The same way, ang kabila naman nun, may mga actors na gumagamit ng politics. 'Di ba? So maraming paraan para ma-experience ang satire. It's from the non-satirists who happen to be funny and from the satirists who happen to be dealing with political topics. Nariyan yan. And it's here to stay. And maybe it will be more popular when gaya nga nung time na we started, di ba? The whole country was celebrating EDSA 1. Well, wala pa kayo nun. EDSA 1 was happening and there was this new excitement and freedom na mamahayag at mag-create ng shows. There was a comedy show every month. I can see where you're coming from when you discuss, when you point out that will it change when society is freer? Of course, pag mas malaya tayo, mas malaya yung feeling natin na we can say and we can create art without having to worry about anything else. Without having to worry about that freedom being curtailed. Towards the end of my stay in UP, nagkaroon din ng issue similar to the D&D issue. I think it was Presidential Decree 868 na ang shows namin pwedeng panoorin ng military at bantayan for content. So I don't know the status now of the lifting of the accord. Ano ba ang status ng lifting of the accord? Can you tell me?
Well, right now, I believe it just means that military personnel na naka-uniform are allowed to enter campus. But it's hard, while we definitely are express views against it and for example, it's very scary, the thought of that. It's also sort of hard to feel it, I guess, with classes being at home. Although there has been word nga po na nag-meeting sila a month ago, sina Lorenzana po and Danilo Concepcion. So, but yeah, not much word other than that.
Yeah, so like you said, pag ang society siguro nakakaramdam ng bawas o curtailment ng kanilang freedom, pati yung artists ay mababahala na kasing laya pa ba siya, is he still or she still as free to make art. Alam naman natin nagkaroon ng kulay yung pagsara ng isang himpilan, 'di ba? Nagkakaroon tayo ng mga ugong-ugong or pahayag about how we are less than free. That is not for me to answer. Wala akong data. Wala akong accurate data or update. I'm on a bit of a sabbatical from political satire. Pero bahagi yan ng aaralin ng political satirists pag magkikreate na siya ng bagong show. Ano ba ang pitfalls? Ano ba ang stumbling blocks? 'Di ba? Kasi gusto mo ipagtanggol yung experience na at the end of the 2 hours of enjoying you in whatever platform, in whatever stage, ang take away talaga is tumawa lang siya and ready to fight again. But it will stay. It will stay. The Pinoy likes to laugh. The Pinoy likes to have some relief from the very, very difficult times. And that's where we're coming from. And we don't even know if this is going to be more than just this one dark year. But I'm optimistic that it's here to stay.
Naintindihan namin talaga from the past perspective, present, and then future. Ayan. So, we're nearing the end na po ng podcast natin. Ito, sir, may request lang. Very, parang shake it off lang, ganyan. Lightning round ng impersonation ninyo with, in demand po ang tatlong, personalities na gayahin nyo. Okay po, sir. Let's start. First, Erap. Go.
To all my fellow Filipinos, Filipinos who are not my fellows, and even fellows who are not my Filipinos, magandang araw sa inyo. Saan man po kayo naroon. Am I listening to students from the UP Beta? UP? Pareho rin. Ako din, UP rin, pero Paris. Paris-Eastern University. And kasi nag-aral ako sa lahat ng university na yan eh. I was an exchange student.
Yeah.
Mind you. Don't mind me. Mind you, because wherever I go, they exchange me. That's why I'm exchange student. And I would like to commend you on this wonderful opportunity. Ako, tinatry ko rin yung mag-podcast na ngayon. Pwede rin pa. Some of you, I think, are just using your telephone.
Yes, sir.
Nag-try din ako mag-podcast. Pero nahirapan ako kasi ginamit ko landline. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing at me? Danelle? Why are you laughing? Miss Go.
Oh, sorry, sir, Mr. President, sir.
Okay. Erase. Sino ulit? Sino pa?
Yan. Next, sir. Ito na, sir. Si Miriam Defensive Santiago.
It depends if you are going to continue to look at me, Miss Danielle, in a provocative manner, because I have said time and again that according to Article 2, Section 430, the last footnote, if I detect that you are in any way looking at me in a manner that is undoubtedly provocative, I shall abbreviate your life. I will put you in a coma. I will make you miss your period. I will cut off your dangling participles and split your infinitives for the rest of your pathetic life. Sorry.
Okay, and if it's okay
Ang
for
galing,
me,
sir.
one
Ang
last,
galing po.
given that, ayun, you are in America right now, and what better impersonation to end our podcast with than the outgoing Mr. Ronald McDonald Trump?
I'm in Florida, which is really where I've been resting with my wife, Melania Trump, and I'd like to tell you that I have hirap.
Wala kasi po yung white and blue tie.
I truly enjoyed your podcast. It's just that I wasn't able to understand everything because it's in Tagalog. Tagalog? Is it Filipino?
Yeah.
So,
Tagalog.
I was just laughing. When everybody was laughing, I laugh also. And when everybody is clapping, I clap also because I just laugh when the locals are laughing. I don't know so much Tagalog or Filipino except Minikaniko ni Monico, ang makina ng Minika ni Monica, ang relo ni Leroy Royal, buwan ng kabilugan ng buwan, butika, bituka, butiki. Thank you. I love the Philippines.
Wow.
I really, really love your country, and it was nice when I was able to go there. And etc. Naku.
Wow, that was
Grabe,
amazing,
sir.
John. Thank you for that.
Wow.
I can't think of a better
But
way.
again, I'm an actor. I'm not a surgeon.
Sorry.
Why do you keep calling me a surgeon?
Mr. Santos na lang.
Danelle,
Mr.
go.
Santos, my apologies.
Danelle. Okay, maraming salamat sa inyo at
salamat din po.
napakasarap malaman na ang political satire pala ay may lugar sa mga discussions, and it has its place in the classroom, and I will always keep for my guidance and for my reference a very nice concept paper that you put together before this episode for my own enlightenment, and to remind me that it has been here. Ang tagal-tagal nang nariyan. Baka nga panahon pa ni Jose Rizal, ginagamit na yan, device na yan. And thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you din po, sir. Baka po, sir, may mga gusto kayo i-promote, like future plans. It's your time to promote, sir.
I hope I make my deadline. I hope I make it to my deadline. May 16. A little fund, hopefully not little, a fundraiser for our magigiting na heroes na frontliners. It's entitled PPE. Patawa, pakanta, and more. Major sponsor, bakunang Johnson and Johnson. No more tears. No more tears. Just laughter at haplos. Na bawat haplos ay haplos ng pagmamahal. Hindi po namin sponsor ang Sinovacla. Hindi po namin sponsor yan. Tickets will be available soon, Zoom tickets or Zoom layer passes or passwords will be available. I-announce yan ng entity na maghahandog niyan sa inyo. Ang ating mga kaibigan sa St. Luke's, yan ang bumubuo ng show ng yan. Because it will be a really, really big help to our frontliners kung makaraise tayo ng additional funds for them.
Yeah.
Stay safe, everyone. See posters and print ads for details per TTI permit number 997021, series of 2021. Cigarette smoking is dangerous when tested on pregnant laboratory animals and garantisado ng pangit.
Wow.
Ayan. Grabe. Punong-puno ng tawa talaga to. And insight pa rin. Very insightful pa din. Ako, yung takeaways ko talaga dito sa discussion na to, yung comedy's role in in difficult times and still applying very informative concepts within it. Ikaw, Ate Dan, ano mga natutunan mo? Ganun.
Well, sa akin naman, it's so interesting to see, for example, the things that we're learning in the classroom from political theories. All of that can seem so, I guess, boring at times when it's read from a page, but ayun, to hear it from Mr. Santos's mouth and really live it in a humorous and fun way, the way that political satire does, it was extremely fun and worthwhile, and this has been a wonderful conversation talaga. Thank you po.
Thank you, sir. Akala ng marami, pagkatatawanan, mababaw lang. Pero in fact, comedy is for the intelligent kasi. Kasi there's a lot to unpack, di ba?
Yes, and ang powerful nga naman kasi na-entertain ka, natututo ka pa, di ba?
Kaya once again, maraming salamat Mr. Jon Santos sa pag-share ng inyong mga brain cells tungkol sa political satire at comedy sa Philippines.
Sobrang na-appreciate po namin kayo for taking the time to show us all of this.
Salamat din. The pleasure is all yours.
Truly.
Ay, wag niyo kakalimutan na hindi sapat na tumawa lamang tayo. At some point after nating makatawa, meron naman din time na kikilos na tayo at babaguhin na natin yung ating yung mga conditions na kailangan baguhin. Isang batayan namin sa comedy bilang huling bilang huling message. A friend of mine told me na ano ba magandang guideline bago natin i-joke ang isang bagay? Comedy is tragedy plus time. Tragedy plus time. Pag nagkaroon ng konting panahon, natatawanan na ang isang bagay. So, yung isang buong taon nung lockdown, parang ang hirap at tumawa. And there was very little. Talagang trickles lang yung mga meme o yung mga joke. At saka yung mga unang lumabas ay yung mga harmless topics muna. Like, ang hirap naman ng mask na to. Ang hirap naman magpagupit. Ba't lahat ng kaibigan ko gumagawang banana bread? Lahat ng klaseng banana bread yata, binebake na ng lahat ng kaibigan ko. Ganun muna. Hindi mo na yung mga big major important topics kasi kulang pa ng time. So with time, nakakagawa na ng comedy. And pag so yung tragedy plus time, pwede ka na mag-comedy, and after nung comedy, meron ng healing, di ba? Yeah. So I felt I needed to share that kasi merong wrong time to laugh at something.
And sinasabi daw nila na hindi lang halakhak, hindi lang palakpak, dapat may pagwasak ng ilusyon at paglawak ng diskusyon, di ba?
Yes. Paggayak para sa aksyon at pagtahak sa ating misyon.
Muli, ako si Danelle, ang bougie belle, you can tell.
At ako naman si Caloy, and I am a toy that people enjoy.
And this has been episode 2 of Politics, Chikahang Politikal, inihahandog sa inyo ng UP Political Society, the youngest and the largest political science organization of UP Diliman.
Kung ikay napahalakhak at napapalakpak, make sure to share this podcast with your friends and follow us on our social media accounts at UP_Pulsai.